everyone, welcome back to my channel Surviving Narcissism Together. So, something I want to talk about today that I barely hear other YouTubers talk about is that you do feel dead on the inside after narcissistic abuse. And this is one of the strangest things that happened to me after the abuse. It wasn't a heartbreak, but it was just feeling numb. It wasn't anger, it wasn't even missing the person. It was just the feeling of absolutely nothing. For so long, I thought that healing would feel like freedom and happiness. I thought once the relationship ended, I'd feel lighter and relieved and that I escaped something very terrible. And while there was some relief, what surprised me the most was the emptiness, the numbness, the feeling that somewhere along the way I had lost the ability to feel excited about life. I wasn't crying every day anymore. I wasn't even checking their social media. I wasn't hoping that they'd come back. I wasn't even replaying every conversation in my head. Yet, I didn't feel happy. I felt disconnected from everything, almost like I was watching my own life instead of living it. And I know that I'm not the only survivor who's experienced this because one of the comments I see over and over is that I don't miss them anymore, so why do I feel empty? And I think the answer is something many people don't talk about. So, when you survive narcissistic abuse, you're not just recovering from a breakup, you're recovering from years of emotional exhaustion. And think about how much energy it takes to be in a relationship where you're constantly questioning yourself, overthinking, walking on eggshells, and trying to avoid conflict, constantly trying to explain things that should have never needed explaining, and trying to earn love, respect, and understanding that should have been given freely. It takes a toll, and often we don't realize how exhausted we are until the relationship ends. It's like carrying a heavy backpack for years, and you're so used to the weight that you stop noticing it. Then one day you put it down, and instead of immediately feeling strong, your body finally feels how tired it really is. And that's what happened to me. I wasn't broken. I was just exhausted emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and that exhaustion can look a lot like emptiness. Another thing that surprised me was the loneliness. Not because I wanted a narcissist back, I did not dare want back that that narcissist or that relationship, but I missed connection. I miss having someone to tell good news to. I miss having someone to talk to at the end of the day. I miss companionship, intimacy, but at the same time, in a very contradicting way, I had absolutely no energy for another relationship. So that contradiction was very confusing because how could I want connection but wanted to be left alone? How could I want love but the thought of trusting someone else again or even starting over a relationship was exhausting? That thought felt so draining, and even explaining my past felt draining. So it's like my heart wanted companionship, but my nervous system wanted rest. And I think many survivors get stuck in that space for a while, not wanting to go back, not ready to move forward yet, just existing somewhere in between. And what made this stage even harder was the realization that I didn't really know who I was anymore. For so long, my focus had been on someone else's moods, needs, reactions, and expectations. But my life had slowly become centered around managing another person's emotions. And when that person was gone, I was left alone with myself. And honestly, I didn't know myself very well anymore. What I did enjoy, what I did want, I didn't know anymore. What kind of future did I want to create? What made me happy? Those questions seem simple, but after years of survival mode, they weren't easy to answer anymore. And maybe that's one of the hidden losses of narcissistic abuse. You don't just lose the relationship, you lose touch with yourself. The good news is that healing isn't about becoming the person you were before. It never is. It's about reconnecting with the parts of yourself that got buried under the years of survival. And that process takes time, of course. A lot of time. People a lot more time than people realize actually. One thing I wish someone told me is that healing doesn't happen in dramatic moments. It happens quietly. You laugh at something and realize it was genuine. You spend an afternoon without thinking about the past. You become interested in a hobby again, and you notice that you're looking forward to little things Little moments, tiny moments, but those moments add up because they matter. And they matter because they're signs that life is returning. So if you're watching this right now and you're feeling that dead feeling on the inside, I want you to hear this. That feeling is not your future. It's a season, and it's a difficult season. It's a lonely season, it's an exhausting season, but it's not a permanent season. So right now it may feel like you'll never be excited again. You'll never trust again, you'll never feel deeply again. But healing doesn't arrive all at once. Life comes back gradually, piece by piece, day by day, moment by moment. And one day you'll notice that you're not just surviving anymore, you're living. And when that day comes, you'll realize something. You were never dead on the inside. You were recovering. You were carrying wounds that needed time to heal. And you were learning how to exist without constant stress. You were learning how to be a person again instead of a survival mechanism. And that's not weakness, that's recovery. So if you're in this stage right now, be patient with yourself. You don't need to force happiness. You don't need to rush into another relationship. You don't need to have everything figured out. Your only job right now is to keep moving forward, even slowly, because healing isn't measured by how fast you recover. It's measured by whether you keep choosing yourself. And if you made it this far, you're already doing that. You're already healing, even if it doesn't feel like it yet. So guys, if this video resonated with you, please let me know in the comments. Have you ever felt emotionally numb after narcissistic abuse? And if you're on that healing journey, subscribe for more conversations about recovery, self-worth, and rebuilding your life after toxic relationships. Until next time, guys, bye. Please take care of yourselves. Okay, I'll see you again.